I'm gonna go to the settings real fast. I turned it down another 10%. I don't think the last video I did of this was bad, but I know that the first video I did of Kingdom Hearts Rechain of Memories was shit. Audio. But now I don't post like if we're playing Call of Duty or Solaris, I don't post any of those in order because those aren't like a story series. But I do try to post my story shit in order. I kind of like do it, if I was to say, I'd probably might do my series kind of like Mark and Uberhex, but I do my nonchalant shit kind of like Homewrecker and Sark, where they just do it whenever.
Yeah.
Just fine with me. Wait, it's still alive? How the fuck? Alright, which door do I need to go into? What is it? I don't think it's this one, but I'll check. I grinded to level 30. Now I'm gonna try to beat this world and continue on. I'm probably gonna end up being level 70 by the time I beat this game. I'm not gonna 100% it or like try to get to level 99 because the grinding in this game is just atrocious. Like enemies are instants, kind of like Final Fantasy, but they don't give a whole lot of XP. So like the bigger the fights, the better. But like there is no way to make like bigger fight scenarios, and you can't like combine the fight scenarios to cheese it.
Yeah.
So you basically just have to wait till you get to a certain point in the game where you're like so badass that you're in the final part and they give a bunch of experience, and then you can do that. Alright, my first bit of story. Allow me to introduce Dr. Finkelstein. He's a world-famous genius. This may be too smart, I'm afraid. I've created something horrible. What's that? Well, have you ever stopped to think about the power of true memories? True memories. See, my boy, our hearts are full of memories, but not all of them reflect the truth. The heart isn't a recording device. Even important memories change with time. They warp or fade, leaving us with but a shadow of what we hope to remember. Could that be happening to me? It happens to everyone. Some memories grow ugly and some become more beautiful. If we could recover our true memories, the world would seem completely different. So I devised a potion from forget-me-nots that brings our true memories back. Did it work? Well, that's the problem. As soon as the doctor got a whiff of the potion, Heartless started popping up. Sounds like a failed experiment to me. No, my research is flawless. I just need another look at the potion to find out what went wrong. Fortunately, it's vanished. Maybe someone swiped it. It must have been Sally. Jack, you've got to find her and get my potion back. Leave it to me. Can I tag along? What for? I want to know more about these true memories the doctor keeps talking about. Excellent. Let's go find Sally. Is it weird to think that in Halloween Town that they still produce sexually, but they're corpses?
Oh my god.
And Sally is basically female Frankenstein, and Jack is literally just a fucking skeleton.
Yeah, that'll happen.
So it's that one.
Yeah. This is it. Back off. This is it. Back off.
I loved the movie Lion King when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Until you realize that Simba's fucking his cousin.
This is it.
Disney movies stop becoming as beautiful as you think they are when you look at the grim details.
Back off.
Like when we talked about the Goofy movie.
Oh my god.
This is it.
It is fucked up though to think about like the Goofy movie being that, like the fact that Max's mom died at childbirth. So
Yeah.
the reason Goofy seems overbearing is the fact that he's just trying to help Max and be the only parental figure, and Max hates him for it. It's kind of fucked up.
Back off.
But no, it's Disney has an over fascination with like excluding certain groups or criminalizing them, which is funny because he has a movie that criminalizes gypsies. But by the end they're okay, which I'm assuming Disney was not 100% okay with, you know, the Hunchback of Notre Dame. But by that time, I think Disney was dead, wasn't
Back
he?
off.
I think so.
I think a lot of the good Disney movies literally came not long after Disney died. Coincidence? I think not. But I do think some of the good ones never got like credit. Like Atlantis was literally a Disney movie with a princess, but like she's never fucking considered a Disney princess. Fucking Tangled and Brave are considered more Disney princesses than certain ones, and it's just like, what the fuck? Oh, what was it? There was one of them that was like the first Disney princess of color, and it was it showed the one from like the Princess and the Frog, but it's like, dude,
Yeah.
have you seen Atlantis?
Back off.
Was the comment? It's like she wasn't white.
Back off.
I do think some of the live action movies have been pretty good. Like
Yeah.
the live action Tarzan was really good. Because instead of them trying to change source material, they just continued it from where the original took place. And there were
Yeah.
like slight tweaks to what actually happened, but none of it was like an abomination. The only real difference in the Tarzan movie was that Kerchak actually had another son.
Yeah.
That didn't, but the son didn't die at the start of the movie like he did in the animated one for the animated Tarzan movie, because that's why Tarzan got adopted by her, because she was like out strolling. In this, he gets adopted and is raised along with the son.
Shit.
So the son takes Kerchak's place. And there's like a scene where like fucking what is it? I'm tired of these motherfucking snakes on these motherfucking plane. Nick Fury. I always forget his actual fucking name.
Fucking. Oh my god.
Samuel Jackson?
Yeah, Samuel Jackson.
Yeah, is that right? Okay, I was like, is that right? I just forgot it on the spot for some reason. But no, he plays like a hunter that's assisting them, and he's not like a bad guy. He's a good guy. He's helping. But like, so there's a scene where like the son comes and beats the fuck out of Tarzan and breaks his arm. And he's sitting there and he's like, you need to kneel down. And he's like, you want me to lick his nuts too? And he's like, well, it'd help. And then he like actually thinks about doing it, and then Tarzan makes fun of him. Like it's a bit more adult oriented. It takes place after. It's more of a focus on Tarzan and Jane, and less of a focus on everything else. Like they apparently lived in a village that was nearby the forest after all the shit with like a group, and then they moved back to England, and Tarzan was never at home in England apparently. It's cool though, because in the movie it says that Tarzan like became different to human beings because of the way his knuckles formed because of him walking around as a gorilla. So he's got like different joints and shit than normal people. So that was kind of a cool thing.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was funny because like his knuckles and his toes are oriented differently, and he has a fascination with like raw eggs in his diet.
Yeah.
It was like small little things.
Yeah.
Although I think the live-action version of Aladdin was okay, I feel like the live-action version of fucking what is it, The Lion King was kind of shit, and the live-action version of The Jungle Book I heard wasn't too great either.
Yeah,
and I never watched the Lion King one because I never watched the Lion King one just because I'm like, dude, I loved the animated Lion King, like that shit. I used to watch that like twice a day as a kid. It never got old. It never got old to me until I turned like 12 and I was like videos and boobs. But no, it was shit like that. What does a level 3 genie look like?
Back off. This is it.
Was there like a favorite Disney movie you watched as a kid that you really liked?
I still like Mulan.
Dude, the animated one, I love it. Did you see the trailer for the new one?
No, I did not.
Yeah, it's apparently a bit more violent.
I bet.
Back off.
Like, she just fucking murders people with swords and shit. And I'm like, wasn't the point of the animated Mulan to show the fact that she could win battles without necessarily killing people?
Back off. This is it.
Or at least, like, leading to major bloodshed on both sides. I mean, like, she caused an avalanche that killed a fuck ton of Huns, but I mean, fuck the Huns. Also, the true story of Mulan is super fucked up.
Back off.
Oh yeah.
She kills herself because she doesn't want to become fucking one of old Attila's whores.
Back off. This is
Pretty fucked up.
it. Yeah.
One thing I want them to... You know what I wouldn't mind a real-life version of?
What?
Back off.
I mean, they're already making the Atlantis one, so that one's definitely off the boat. But, like, real-life Lilo and Stitch.
Ooh.
That just sounds good, you know?
Back off.
Yeah.
Just because, like, it gives them the option to continue the story and shit. Because, like, they didn't really fucking... like, Disney... I think Disney's major fuck-up has always been that... One second. Disney's most major fuck-up has always been that they haven't fucking... like... continued franchises in theaters. They've always done the straight to fucking DVD shit, and then they decided, oh no, we're gonna do Frozen 2 in theaters, and I'm like, but you won't make fucking something 2 in theaters, but you'll make fucking Frozen. Like, no offense to Frozen, but it was never that great. It was a good movie, but it wasn't like phenomenal. it just made a bunch of fucking little girls come in their pants, and I guess that was enough. Like, there are so many Disney movies that are so much better than fucking Frozen. Why
Frozen
the
just kind of
fuck?
felt like a cheap getaway.
Yeah, Frozen was basically a cheap fucking knockoff that worked.
Like, it wasn't bad, but I didn't enjoy it,
It was-
as much as some of the other ones.
It was a rush story that was just kind of what the fuck. Like, it wasn't as emotionally invested as other Disney movies. There wasn't
Yeah, it
like
just
this
had
great
catchy
journey.
songs.
It just had catchy songs, and it was like, oh, I'm gonna run away because people are scared of my powers. I'm gonna come back. Oops, I fucked up. But it was like all in one area. Nothing progressed. It wasn't like crazy or out of the park. I mean, fucking Atlantis starts out in like fucking Boston and makes its way through the fucking ocean against giant fucking monsters and through fucking tunnels and then to fucking Atlantis, and it's like one of the least known fucking ones, and it did so much for a plot.
Yeah.
And the villain death in that movie is fucking satisfying.
Oh, yeah.
He fucking blows the fuck up. It was all about like the struggle for like eternal youth and shit too, so there was like moral dilemmas and stuff like that. Like the plot was fucking cool.
Yeah, it was good.
Oogie
Ow,
Boogie stole
fuck.
the potion.
Oogie Boogie stole the potion. Yeah, that sounds like Oogie Boogie.
I kind of like Oogie Boogie. Like, I wasn't a big fan of the Nightmare Before Christmas, but like, I thought it was still a good movie.
Yeah.
It just wasn't my kind of thing. But Oogie Boogie and Jack were like two really cool characters. Like character design and story, they got right. It was just, I feel like that movie would have been better without all the fucking singing.
Yeah. That's
And
fair.
more of maybe an action variant instead of, you know, that. I feel like the movie had a lot more of a chance to get dark and gritty, but for some reason it had a dark and gritty aesthetic, like all the movies that motherfucker did, but it just didn't do anything with it.
Yeah.
Besides, like, cheating it to be like, oh, they're only dark and gritty because it's Halloween. They're actually really nice people. It's like, yeah, but Oogie Boogie's an asshole.
Yeah, but Oogie Boogie's an asshole. It's also fair.
They made an actual video game for Nightmare Before Christmas, which was a continuation, and I think one of them was a prequel. And the prequel one was like Jack was fighting Oogie Boogie, and its fucking combat system was ripped straight out of Devil May Cry.
Are you serious?
Oh, it was so good, dude.
Back off!
There was a combo system with ranking and score,
This
and
is
Jack had like powers and a fucking grappling device. It was dope as shit.
That's
And like, it's not a well-known game, even though it is known as a very fucking good game.
back off! Courage!
Hand over the potion. Did he already drink it? No, he's fixing to, okay. What the fuck?
Hope you like the Oogie gift.
This is it. Back off. This is it. Back off. This is it. Power. Heal. Courage. Power. Courage. Jack. Yeah.
I'm almost done.
Nice.
2 pages. I don't think it'll be very long.
Heal. Power. Jack. Yeah. Courage.
You got it. You won't make it. On, baby.
Power. Courage.
You got it.
Yeah. Power.
On, baby. On, baby. On, baby.
Yeah.
On, baby.
Courage. Yeah. Jack.
Party
Power.
On, baby.
Just fucking rescue me. Yes, finished 1 paper.
There.
Nice.
Alright, see ya. Be back in like 15 minutes. They just busted my ass. Oh. off the couch and all.
Courage! Power!
You got it!
Stop!
On, baby!
There!
You got it!
Power! Heal!
I am running into cards.
Yeah! Stop!
On, baby! On, baby!
Stop!
On, baby!
Courage!
Out of cards.
On, baby! Fire!
Stop!
On, baby!
Yeah! Stop!
On, baby!
Stop!
On, baby!
Yeah! Stop! Stop!
Won't make a dope out of me!
Stop!
On, baby!
I have no cards.
Hope you like the Oogie gift I picked out for you.
Just let these guys kill me. I'll switch decks because this deck doesn't work.
On, baby!
I hate that certain boss fights, mostly Oogie Boogies, are oriented in a sense where like you have to counter with cards, and you have to do that. Well, sometimes you have to counter with stacked cards. Look what that did. Oh man, I got the hiccups.
On, baby!
This is it! Yeah!
On, baby!
Stop!
On!
Ha! Ha! Yeah! Ha! 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 Rah! Yeah! Heal! Fire! Fire! Fire!
Party crashes!
Yeah!
On, baby! Hope you like the Oogie gift
Fire!
On, baby!
Yeah! Ha!
On, baby! On, baby! On, baby! On, baby!
Jesus. Later, if you have to hit the specific one.
There! Jack!
Don't make a dope out of me.
I almost beat him. It's literally... The difficulty in this game isn't so much that it's anything other than the fact that you need card decks, and that for some reason, for certain boss fights, you need to get the 0 card that has the changing of environment, which is also fucking stupid. The Maleficent fight, the Fire Guy fought in Alice in Wonderland, and Oogie Boogies, I think, are the 3 boss fights that really employ that, and it is a pain in the ass. And literally, I'll switch back to my other deck and not have a problem until I run into a similar instance. Of course, now more than ever, but there's this guy Axel. I promised him I'd find the truth on my own. True memories must have balance the heart and cause unpredicted changes within. Tell me what happens when my true memories awaken. Perhaps something even more terrifying. Jack's a good character. I'm glad he comes back in Kingdom Hearts 2. Technically, he's in 3 Kingdom Hearts games, I believe. And he's probably in Recoded too, but fuck that game. Glad I don't have to play that. I played it when I was a kid, and I fucking hated it, especially the cube fights. You literally just fight cubes. It's the dumbest thing ever. Change decks. I have 3 different decks. The first one I've not really used, but the last 2, one of them is more like combat focused with organization members, which is the one I use and quickly in fights. And the other one is more for bullshit like that I run into, that mostly just focuses on like combat. Just general combat. Hopefully I get an organization fight. I fucking want one. Done like 2 or 3 worlds without one.
Just bits and pieces.
Maybe you could try telling us some more stuff about her. Who knows? It might even help you remember other things.
Well, she was quiet and always drawing. When we'd go to the beach, she'd draw a picture instead of swimming. Sometimes she'd draw us too. She was really good. I remember Riku and I fighting over who she'd draw next. But one day, she was gone, just like that. I think the grown-ups knew the reason. They might even have tried to explain some of it to me. But I was little. I probably didn't understand what was happening. I remember crying after she was gone. But that's all. I still don't remember her name.
Oh, I bet you'll remember it in no time.
I must point out, Sora keeps remembering things instead of forgetting them. It seems to me, forgetting things may be the only way to reach the memories buried deeper down inside each of us.
To make room.
So we should forget in order to remember?
those guys said, our most precious memories lie so deep in our hearts that they're out of reach. All that stuff about finding being losing and losing being finding, I didn't get it at first, but maybe this is what they meant.
Gosh, Sora, I think I'm a little jealous of you. How come me and Donald and Jiminy aren't remembering more of the stuff from our memories?
Come on, Goofy. Let's get going. We gotta forget things faster.
They're falling into the trap. They're not learning. I don't think. Yeah, because the reason there's the forgetting and shit is this is the castle that Ventus is stored in, and the side effect is that it erases memories, which I think is the safeguard to keep people away from it. Or Ventus, or... yeah, Ventus. So do I have to finish Floor 7 before I can start fighting organization members? Because, like, I don't
Just
remember
as
the
we
first half of the game
intended.
having fucking nothing.
We'll continue with our plan. Let's see how far this group will go.
You had your fun on the first floor. So this time, it's my turn. I'm not going to just give it to him.
Don't break him.
Well, do I detect a soft spot? I'm not gonna break the toy. I'm not dumb.
Don't
I think he's worried
forget,
that if Sora dies, they'll
Sora
hurt
is the
Roxas.
key. We need him if we're going to take over the organization.
I know that you're in on it too. But keep it under your hood, at least until the time is right.
So the thing is Axel, Larxene, and all the
You would have
others
been
are against
wise
the
to have done
organization.
the same, Larxene.
Except Axel actually wasn't. Axel was brought in as a kid, and so was... and Larxene wasn't anyone special.
So, Sora, did
Marluxia
anything
kind of
back
was,
there
but
help you
not a
remember
main
your
person.
friend's name?
Her name's the only thing I can't
So
seem
they're
to
kind of the
remember.
outcasts. They don't have a
You
voice.
gotta try. Hurry up and remember it.
And Axel and Lee, the same person. And then there's Syax, who was also a kid that Axel was friends with. And he became an organization later. And his deal was, is if he helps take down these traitors, which is mostly Marluxia, Larxene, and the Ice Guy, and the heavy hitter dude, that Roxas and Xion should be safe. Well, mostly Roxas. He really didn't give a shit about Xion. Okay, so let me guess. I have to beat the final world when I start fighting them. Yep. Pinocchio. So I gotta follow Pinocchio. How much XP can I get in this dungeon? Can I grind up a few levels? That'd be nice. And I do apologize, this game is the most grind-oriented out of all of them. When I did my Kingdom Hearts stream, I kind of bypassed that by doing it off-stream. I did kill 2 of the super bosses that I had already beaten in a previous stream a year ago. But I did beat Sephiroth and the Unknown just for my stream. Mostly because I needed to beat the 2 optionals in order to continue to grind. I needed specific magic and a bunch of other shit so I could get the ultimate weapon, and it was just a pain in the ass. And like, it didn't take me too many tries to beat them, so I do kind of regret kind of not streaming that, but at the same time, kind of no. Because I have streamed it before, so that was the only reason I was like, I'm not gonna do it. Let's see how much these guys give.
This is it. Back off. This is it. Back off. This is it.
It's a decent amount of experience, but like, honestly, when you get to certain parts and there's a difficulty spike, I will admit, you've got to orient your decks, or completely change them, or make a specific deck to find a specific boss. It's trial and error, because like I showed you with Oogie Boogie earlier, you could literally just run out of fucking cards, and the only reason I ran out was because the deck I'm currently using right now is combo oriented. It's annoying.
Back off.
Stay the fuck still.
Power.
Like I said, I think I'm gonna get to like maybe level 70. It just depends. I think I've got higher health than most people do at this point. I should probably be focusing more on card count.
Back off. This is it. Back off. This is it. Back off. Power.
At least the monster world isn't like complicated and puzzly like it was in the other, but I do know there's a horde fight here that is a little difficult. I think I still have to fight the boss. I'm not 100% sure. Because if you don't know, this game originally came out for the Game Boy, and it was like, it was just kind of fanfare, in all honesty. It filled in between Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2, but like, the Game Boy version was not great. Now, when they released it for console, it was really good in the combat system like this. Though some boss fights should have not been handled with the combat system. Oogie Boogie, a good example. But yeah, it's basically they just recycled all their assets from Kingdom Hearts 1 to make another game, but they changed the combat system, and the combat system isn't bad. I really like it. It's just wasn't 100% thought through.
Stop. Heal. Courage.
So there's scenes, mostly just the scenes with the organization were actually worked on, so they did add cutscenes. But everything else, they don't like have a cutscene version of it with the worlds, which I get. But at the same time, like they could have put in just a little bit more of an effort. Like honestly. That's like my major complaint for this, is that there are like 2 or 3 world boss fights. They're not even the organization ever boss fights. And they're the ones where you have to rely on the fucking Zero Dills. You can kind of cheat it with the Wonderland one, so it's not that bad, but Oogie Boogies, you literally can't. And Maleficent's is hard as fuck if you don't, because she, like, covers the entire floor in fire.
Back off! Courage! Donald! Power!
I forgot that him coming in is actually an attack. That, unless Donald's lightning killed it. I feel like it didn't, though.
Yeah!
Let's see. I should be making treasure chest rooms. Really should.
Yeah! Ha!
The thing in my deck that I'm using currently is I'm not like using higher Keyblades because the damage differential doesn't really come out, I don't think, with magic combos. So I'm cheating it a little bit, or at least being smart about how I'm handling it, not wasting any extra points. Oh, Fire Raid. I'm gonna remove these because they don't do shit. There's a Fire Raid. And I'll put in another if I can. I think I can. Yes, can. Alright. So now my deck's even better. Yeah, I should probably stop relying on like regular raids. Because apparently they don't do a whole lot of damage, but Fire Raid and Blizzard Raid do a lot. And then there's like a later ability you can get. Because there are some abilities unique to this game instead of 1 and 2. And like Fire Raid and Blizzard Raid are that, like they're a mutation ability, but like there's like one where you literally create fire tornadoes, which is sick.
This is it! Back off!
Oh yeah, I need to change this to be a chest a few more times. Get as many of them as I can. See, the chest rooms are very important because, I mean, I literally learned Fire Raid and Blizzard Raid from them. And they're an easy way to farm for cards. Disappointment. Disappointment. Let's see what we get this time. I believe I actually used the Fire Tornado technique against the final boss because it's one of the ones you get way later. At least you're supposed to. Ooh, rare achievement, battle card collector. Obtain over 300. Neat. I guess a lot of the achievements are rare because I don't think anyone's going to play this game as much as they're going to play Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 or Birth by Sleep. Birth by Sleep is pretty popular. As well as Dream Drop Distance will probably be played a lot more. I don't know, it's kind of one of those things where it's like, those games came for a different console, which was those games came for handheld, the Birth by Sleep and Dream Drop. So a lot of people didn't get a chance at them. So if anything, I would think would be that they would try those games. They would try Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 first, and they would try this last because this game has a little bit of a reputation of being different and not well loved. At least not a lot. So yeah, there is that. Once we go to that one.
This is it. Back off. Back off. This is it. Back off.
But yeah, because every achievement I'm getting for this is like basic as hell and are rare achievements. So another thing is like, you know, the people that are playing this aren't kids anymore. They're also adults who have jobs. So my guess is just they're taking a little longer than I am to be able to beat them. But I am kind of going through them pretty quick, I'll admit.
Goofy fucks.
Yeah.
Goofy fucks.
Dude, Goofy doesn't have sex. Goofy fucks.
I just love that that's a thing now.
Goofy fucks.
Well, dude, have you seen the second Goofy movie?
Yeah.
You know that, like, he gets with that hot, red-headed fucking librarian.
Mm-hmm.
Goofy fucks.
Goofy fucks, dude. Goofy doesn't have sex. Goofy fucks.
I just love that, like, he's the only fucking character to pretty much have kids of his own. Like, Mickey and Minnie have been dating for how fucking long?
Fuck.
40 years.
40 years! And Minnie's like, no, mouse dick!
You ever seen that picture where it's like Minnie Mouse, but she's freaking the fuck out because there's a mouse in the house? And she's like, eek, a mouse! And then it's just like someone with their finger up, and then they're just like,
Just, That'll occur.
My favorite thing is like Adult Swim did a bit where like Goofy and Goofy is actually one of the few characters to date in the original version too, but one of the characters he dates is she's a cow. She's literally a cow.
Yep.
And there's an Adult Swim deal where it's like different. They're trying to ban different species couples, and it's like, I'm the only one of myself I know. Mickey, why is this a problem? He's like, well, you could date Pluto, and he's like, I'm gonna pretend I didn't hear that.
I'm gonna pretend I didn't hear that.
And then like Beast is in the back, and he's like, I'm actually human underneath all this, so me and Bill are cool, right, guys? Guys? And then like Chip and Dale are like, you can't do this to love, and they're like, oh, two confirmed bachelors that live together. It's like, we're brothers, we're cousins, and he's like, yeah, get your stories straight, gentlemen. Dude, fucking Robot Chicken is the shit.
It's so good.
Back off.
Ow.
Did you realize that the person who makes Robot Chicken is the dude from fucking that 70s show and the guy that does Chris's voice?
Are you serious? Oh yeah, it is. Seth Green?
Seth Green, yeah. I almost said Seth MacFarlane.
And Seth MacFarlane is in Family Guy.
Rookie mistake, rookie mistake.
Close, not quite.
I apologize, bro.
Well, one serial killer down.
No stick. No stick. Kill him over. I'll squeak. Don't tempt me. I'll fucking squeak. I'll do it.
You guys made me ink.
You can hear the mice humping in the wall. That was awesome. Grandma makes this passive-aggressive remark today. She's like, do you have to work tomorrow? I'm like, no, but I was supposed to work today, but I didn't shut the fuck up. Because they just wrote me down and didn't message me or tell me shit. So, fuck them. And she just kind of sits there and I'm like, I just give her this look like, say something, do it. Because, like, my grandma, she's owned a business for so fucking long, like, and she was married to a dude who owned his own fucking business, so my grandma's never really had to work for anybody but one time, and she fucking hated it. So I'm like, Grandma, you don't really got a say in this. You've never really had to work for anybody. And when you did, you didn't like it. And didn't do it very long.
This is it. Back off. This is it. Back
I love
off.
that this is a fucking class in college that I have to write papers on. This shit.
Serial killers?
Yeah, let's just read the first sentence in crimes on this guy named David Parker Ray. I've got to write a biography over him and two others, which I've written one on, which was Dr. Harold Shipman, who suspectedly killed over 200 people while they were in his care as a doctor in a surgical center. He injected them with lethal doses of diamorphine, which is a lethal injection, and killed them, forged a will, forged their signature, and then basically what he would kill them after they signed this paper.
This is it.
What would what is he, like, getting money out of him or something?
Yeah. One of them was the mayor of a town, which is the one he got caught on. The mayor was at his house. I think it was him. I don't remember. It didn't really say it. They just called him the mayor of Hyde. So I'm gonna. I don't know. It was the mayor of Hyde. So basically, the mayor had him over, and he signed his. There was a will found with this guy that didn't leave anything to his children, but left over 300,000 pounds in European currency to Shipman.
This is it.
Creepy.
Yep. Expected to kill over 200 people that way. This guy, the first sentence is Ray sexually tortured and presumably killed his victims using whips, chains, pulley straps, clamps, leg spreader bars, surgical blades, and saws.
Whips and chains excite me, I'm sorry.
Do pulley straps, clamps, leg spreader bars, surgical blades, and saws do that too?
A little bit.
He, let me see here.
Oh, except for the pointy shit, but like,
Courage.
leg straps. Kinda hot.
He soundproofed a truck trailer that he called his toy box and equipped it with items used for sexual torture.
Toy Story P.
What?
P's for penis.
What did you just say?
I said he called it his toy box. I said Toy Story P. The P's for penis.
Oh my god. I don't like this new Toy Story.
This is it.
Andrew really hit the fan, didn't he?
Back off. This is it.
Jesus, Andy, you ain't doing so good, huh?
Jumps into propeller blades.
Back off. Courage.
Making an Andy smoothie.
Making my Andy smoothie!
This is it.
I love serial killer classes.
Heal.
I'm mostly like, they're like, you wouldn't believe why this guy did it. I'm like, was he in an abusive household? They're like, how'd you know? And I'm like, most serial killers come from abusive households. And they're like, what kind of household do you come from? Take a guess, fucker. I got my psych professor one time to admit, she's like, you know, if kids don't have, like, their parents loving them or treating them like shit or abuse goes on, yada yada yada, the kid will basically go insane and probably become a serial killer, was the thing she actually said. So I'm like, and I'm like listing off shit that's actually happened to me, and I'm like, so if a kid had all this happen to him and didn't have a support system, what would happen? She's like, he'd probably go insane, kill himself, and kill others. I go, neat. Another one for the books. I'm just like, I don't like that. I couldn't be a serial killer though, I hate blood.
I couldn't be a serial killer, I hate blood.
I like how that's the first thing I went to.
God.
Not that there's a moral dilemma, just the fact that I despise blood. I also don't like touching people. So I guess if you give me a sniper rifle, I guess all the moral shit goes away.
Wow, this is a great fucking start. During his childhood, Ray and his younger sister Peggy lived with their disciplinarian grandfather. He was sporadically visited by his violent alcoholic father who would supply him with magazines depicting sadomasochistic pornography.
That's a dad for you.
He had sexual fantasies of raping, torturing, and even murdering women would develop during his teenage years.
Creepy.
He worked in this as an auto mechanic, received an honorable discharge from the U.S. Army, where his service also included work as a mechanic. And then following his discharge from the U.S. Army, he would go on to sexually torture and presumably kill his victims using whips, chains, pulley straps, clamps, leg spreader bars, surgical
Why was that
blades, and
funny?
straw.
Why was that funny?
Just the jump. Just the jump from, like, he received an honorable discharge from the U.S. Army, where his service also included work as a general mechanic. Ray sexually tortured and presumably just the jump. Just the jump from he was honorably discharged and worked as a mechanic to whips, chains, pulley straps, clamps, leg spreader bars, surgical blades, and saws. It was just like, where was the fucking freeway exit? Where was the... There was no freeway exit, we just jumped the guardrail. Oh boy, syringes are involved. Different methods and techniques for inflicting pain. Homemade electrical generator. Mirror was mounted above the ceiling, above the gynecologist-type table upon which he would strap his victims. Put them in wooden contraptions that bent them over and immobilized them, while he had his dogs and sometimes other friends rape them.
Did you say his dogs?
His dogs.
His friends also? Like, there were people who were in on this?
Yes, apparently it was a whole fucking thing. It says with the added assistance of multiple accomplices, allegedly including several of the women that he was dating at the time.
Oh, they got off on it too?
He's been said to have wanted his victims to see everything he was doing. Ray would often have a recorded audio tape of himself played for his victims whenever they regained consciousness.
I'm frightened.
What the fuck?
What is it now, Sean? What did the bedhead man do?
No, I'm trying to see. Hold on.
This is it. Back off. This is it.
This is fucking like horror movie shit.
This is it.
No.
This is how he got caught, okay? Ray posed as an
no.
undercover police officer and approached a girl with the last name of Vigil in a parking lot. He told her she was under arrest for solicitation of prostitution and handcuffed her. He put her in his trailer and took her to a secluded location. After 3 days of captivity, she escaped from the trailer. To escape, she waited until Ray went to work and managed to get the keys to unlock her chains that Ray's accomplice had left on a nearby table, while the accomplice was in another room on the phone. After she got the keys, the accomplice noticed her attempts to escape and a fight ensued. During the struggle, the accomplice broke a lamp on the victim's head, but she managed to unlock her chains and stabbed the accomplice in the neck with an ice pick.
Back off.
The accomplice fell to the floor and Vigil, which is her last name, escaped. Vigil ran away naked, wearing only an iron slave collar and padlock chains. Once she escaped, she ran down the road seeking help, later getting assistance from a nearby homeowner. The homeowner took Vigil and comforted her and called the police. Her escape finally led officials to the trailer and capture of Ray and his accomplices.
Jesus.
This was in 1999. Ray had a video of another victim, which dated back to 1996. The victim was ultimately found in Colorado alive after police identified a tattoo on her ankle. She later testified that she had gotten in a fight with her husband and decided to spend the night playing pool with friends. Ray's daughter, who was friends with her, took her to the Blue Water Saloon and drugged the beer she was drinking. She managed to make it to the parking lot when Ray hit her from behind, knocking her unconscious.
So the daughter was in on it too?
And it seems like fucking everyone was in on it.
What the fuck?
Thinking he had killed her, Ray dumped her on the side of the road. She was later treated for injuries at a local clinic. Neither her husband or the police believed her story. Her husband thought she had been cheating on him the night she was attacked, and he filed for divorce. And that's when she moved to Colorado.
The police didn't believe her?
Two other accomplices were uncovered by the investigation. One admitted to strangling a former girlfriend after Ray had kidnapped and tortured her, was eventually convicted of second-degree murder and conspiracy to commit first-degree murder, received 2 15-year terms. After that, Ray allegedly admitted to having had an accomplice named Billy Bowers, a previous business partner, whom Ray also murdered. FBI sent 100
one of the
agents.
accomplices?
This dude was running a whole fucking ring.
So it's like a sex trafficking ring, but like a super.
It was a
creepy
sex
one.
torture
Like,
ring.
not that it was. Like, don't get me wrong, sex trafficking and torture are creepy, but like this dude took it to a whole nother level. That's fucking insane, dude.
Trial run resulted in a mistrial and retrial with conviction in the retrial of all 12 counts for which he was accused. Montano died before trial 2, so was not convicted. Ray agreed to a plea bargain under the terms of which he was sentenced in 2001 to 224 years in prison, involving the abduction and sexual torture of 3 young women, Ray's daughter, was also tried on charges of kidnapping, sentenced to 2.5 years in prison with an additional 5 years served on probation.
What? She only got that? Fuck that. I would have shot. No offense, but I think all these people should be lined up and shot. I like how Goofy's trying to be a dad in this game. He's like, put your trust in Goofy. He's like, don't be hard on the kid. What's happening? Bad feeling about this. Run for it.
Holy fucking shit.
Did you find more fucked up shit or what?
No, just all of this shit.
This is it. Back off. Power.
You have it! Hey! Ha! Hey! Toodaloo!
This is it. Courage. Donald. Yeah. Ha. Power. Courage. Filthy.
Whoa!
Heal. Power.
You have it! Hey! Ha! Toodaloo!
Yeah. Ha. Ha. Courage. Donald. Power. Heal. Courage.
You have it! Ha!
Get him, Genie.
Toodaloo!
Yeah.
Ew, gross. I'm inside of a whale's stomach and I can hear it churning.
What?
I'm inside of a whale's stomach and I can hear it churning. almost to level 33. Where do I gotta go? I gotta go back this way. Save point. So who are the three people you have to cover? The first one was a dude that was a doctor that killed people, and this one was a sex offender.
Yeah.
And the other one was what?
I haven't read that one off yet. I just have the name of it. I honestly forgot who he was for now.
All of a sudden, you just hear from behind you, "I'm your worst fucking nightmare, kid." And you're just like, "Oh, I'm gonna get raped."
This is it.
It's the word I'm looking for.
Back off.
Describe the thing and I'll tell you.
It's like, okay, so like there's second degree and first degree murder, but this person was found guilty of second degree murder, and I keep wanting to say presumed first degree, but it's like when they think that they were trying to make it first degree murder.
It's attempted.
Was it attempted?
It's attempt.
Or
it's an attempt if you try to murder someone.
conspiracy to commit, that's what it is.
Conspiracy to commit is like you're gonna do it.
Yeah. Like they caught
you
him.
did it.
Yeah, they caught him doing second degree murder, but there was conspiracy that he was going to commit first degree.
Power. Courage.
Just fucking die, you bitch. I thought conspiracy to commit murder is when you're working with a group to kill somebody. Like it's pre-planned.
Yeah, that was the thing. Was like
is that? Oh, it was pre-planned. Okay.
Well, it was like it was going to be pre-planned, but then it turned into second degree. But like they caught him before he did it. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, that's weird.
What did he
on
do
May
this time?
28th, no, on May 28th of 2002, Ray was transported to the Lee County Correctional Facility in New Mexico to be questioned by state police. So he was sentenced in 2001 and was being transported to the correctional facility in 2002 to be questioned by state police, but he died of a heart attack before the interrogation could take place.
Little sketch.
Little sketch.
What if he's still alive, Sean?
He's dead as shit.
He's dead as shit. I love that.
No, I have pictures of him. He's dead as shit. I just don't think it was the way he died. I'm conspiracy.
I'm conspiracy. I love the way you said that with like a southern accent. You're about to eat
Conspiracy.
fucking mashed potatoes and probably fuck your cousin.
Freeze!
You want some taters and gravy?
Yeah, freeze! This is it!
How about them taters? Get her done.
Some tater tots, you dirty thoughts.
This is it!
Going to hell.
Back off! Courage! Power!
Why won't you fucking die, you piece of shit?
Yeah! Back off! This is it! Back off! This is it! Back off!
I wonder if whenever a person becomes a serial killer, if they like keep an eye on his fucking family, like, they could do it too.
Yeah!
Sounds like a good idea. Like your dad just fucking murdered somebody and thought it was as fun as whatever the fuck you could think of. Who's to say the apple didn't fall far from the tree?
That's a good point.
Because, you know, they have proven that like a lot of mental states, especially things linking to depression and shit, are genetic.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, you can form your own because your brain formulates synapses as you grow as a kid, but like they can be biological. They can be like grown too, but that's like last resort type shit.
Courage!
At least they're more susceptible to it.
This is it! Back off! This is it! Ha! Funnel! Freeze! Funnel! Guilty! Whoa! Guilty! Whoa! Back off!
Get fucked. I don't know, I'm fucking grinding for levels in here. Need to go one more and then we're down. Have there ever been like any serial killers in that shit that stood out the most? And you're just like,
this
oh,
guy.
This guy.
This guy.
Fair enough.
David I'm serious. This is one of the fucking worst ones I've ever read. fuck up, dude.
Who are you talking to?
Fucking, I have Crackdown open and the guy's like, we have work to do, agent. I'm like, shut the fuck up.
Why don't you go fuck yourself, old man?
The future is now, old man.
Future's now, old man.
The future is now, old man. Louder is better.
Alright, Professor. So you know, this year's been like the weirdest year with professors because, like, on one hand I have a professor who caught cancer, and I have another hand. On the other hand, one of my online professors fucking broke all of his fingers.
What the fuck?
He got into a car accident.
They're gonna start
And I guess
thinking
his,
it's
like,
just you.
I guess his hands pulled a Doctor Strange, if you've ever watched Doctor Strange, where they got stuck in this shit. So he's got broken fingers.
Oh my god.
And like the weirdest thing I'd had up until now was like a teacher who had like a retarded son and or mentally handicapped son. Sorry, fuck. I don't give a shit. And then she had a mentally handicapped daughter who had health problems and had seizures and strokes. So like she missed a fuck ton of the classes, but that was understandable. It was like, oh man, that's really sad or fucked up. But like all these are like, damn, all this shit just happened at once, like during this year. Like I've been cured of cancer for years. I'm like, I have his class for 2 years. I have cancer again. Coincidence? I think not.
I've been cleared of cancer. Never mind.
Then his dog died.
Oh.
Oh yeah. He was like, well, turns out they found out I had cancer. I'm like, oh shit. And I'm like, but your dog's okay, right? And he's like, no, we had to put my dog down. And I go, I'm sorry to tell you this, but I'm actually more sad about the dog, but like also sad for you.
It's like, you're cool and all, but dog.
It was a golden retriever.
Oh. Can't do that shit to people, man.
Back off. This is it.
That's why I hate getting dogs, but I always do it.
Power. Fire. Yeah, fire. Back off.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Dumbo's broken in this game. Now I can finally start fighting organization members, thank fucking God. Jiminy Cricket's all like sad.
Mm-hmm. That'll happen. Poor dude.
Have you seen the deal where it's like, I'm your conscience, Peter, and Peter kills Jiminy Cricket because he scares the shit out of him, and then like it's like it shows his wife and kids. It's like, you put a plate out for Jiminy again, dear. And it's like, oh, so I did. And it's like, he's been dead for weeks. And then she's like, why did he have to go and help everybody? Why she starts crying.
Help everybody.
And she just starts crying. It's literally the scene, and you're just like, oh, this is a little dark, Family Guy, even for you.
Why do you have to go and help everybody?
Let me fight Larxene. I want to fucking punch her right in the...
Suggest you use your right to remain silent before I show your GoBot ass some Detroit violence.
I bet you want what's actually.
Too clever. I'm Larxene. So, are you enjoying your stay at the castle? I bet it's nice to peel away all the worthless memories and awaken the true memories that lie deep in your heart.
True memories?
Although, it
What
seems
the
that
fuck
you're
to
still
do, damn
forgetting
it?
the most important thing here. When that poor girl hears that you've forgotten her name, why, it'll break her heart.
Poor girl. Do you know her? Is she?
That's not double spaced. Why is that not double spaced?
Yes, she
Double
is.
space it, bitch.
You see, the bad guys are
There
holding
you
her
go.
captive, somewhere deep inside the castle. And you obviously are the hero, so you have to go save her. Although...
Ah!
I'm a bad guy, so you have to go through me.
Sora!
What's that? Is that thing mine?
What a shame! You've been wearing it all this time and forgot? No, that's not possible. The memory has to be engraved somewhere deep inside your heart. Sora, you think carefully now. What, oh what could it be? And who gave it to you?
Nah. Meh.
Sora, you're getting it
You
now.
don't play Modern Warfare?
Release the memory from within your heart.
Yeah, let me kill this bitch and I'll join you.
I want to be done with this. I want to be done. Alright, here's my last guy.
Well, it's about time.
Alright.
That's right. Nominee. Yes,
His name is
she's the
Charles
one that gave you
Sabraj.
that tacky little good luck charm.
Known as the Splitting
Not that you
Killer
even
and the
bothered to
Serpent.
remember. No surprise, seeing as you also
He's-
couldn't remember
he's-
her name.
His name is Charles
Talk about
Sabraj,
heartless. I
and
can't
his other
believe
names,
you.
or his nicknames, like his
certainly
killer
right
names, were the
if I
Splitting Killer and the
decided
Serpent.
To smash this piece of junk.
Let it go!
He's a French thief, fraud artist, serial killer of
Nominee
Vietnamese
gave me
and Indian
this.
origin who preyed on
Very
Western
important to me.
tourists throughout the hippie trail of Southeast
Oh,
Asia
it's
during the
important to you.
1970s. He was also known as the Bikini Killer due to the attire of his victims, as well as the
10
Splitting
seconds
Killer
ago,
and
you
the
didn't
Serpent
even know what it
due to his
was.
skill at deception and evasion. He committed at least a dozen murders and was convicted and jailed in India. After his release, he retired as a celebrity in Paris.
Back off!
Lightning.
He got out of jail in 1997. After his release, he retired as a celebrity in Paris. Sabraj later returned to Nepal in 2003, where he was arrested, tried, and received a life sentence.
You're done.
Back off!
Let's see.
Vanish.
This is it!
Charles Sabraj was born
Lightning.
to a Vietnamese shop girl and Vietnamese businessman.
Teal!
Based in Saigon, Paris was divorced, father deserted the family, stateless at first, Sabra was adopted by another boyfriend, French Army lieutenant stationed in China, where he was neglected in favor of the couple's later children. However, he continued to move back and forth between Indochina and France with the family. As a teenager, he began to commit petty crimes and received his first jail sentence for burglary in 1963. While in prison, he eagerly manipulated prison officials into granting him special favors, such as being allowed to keep books in his cell. Around the same time, he met and endeared himself to a wealthy young man in prison volunteer. After being paroled, he moved in with the man and shared his time moving between the high society of Paris and the criminal underworld. He began accumulating riches through a series of burglaries and scams. During this time, he met and began a passionate relationship with a young Parisian woman from a conservative family. Proposed marriage, was arrested later the same day for attempting to evade police while driving a stolen vehicle. He was sentenced to 8 months in prison, yet she remained supportive throughout the entirety of the sentence. They got married after his release. Along with his pregnant wife, he left France in 1970 for Asia to escape arrest. After traveling through Eastern Europe with fake documents, robbing tourists whom he befriended along the way, he arrived in Mumbai later the same year. She gave birth to a baby girl. In the meantime, Sabra resumed his criminal lifestyle, running a car theft and smuggling operation. His growing profits went towards his budding gambling addiction. Sabra was arrested and imprisoned after an unsuccessful armed robbery attempt on a jewelry store. He was able to escape due to faking illness, but was recaptured shortly after. He borrowed money for bail from his father and soon after collecting. There, the couple began to rob tourists on the hippie trail, only to be arrested once again. Sabra escaped in the same way he had in India, feigning illness and drugging the hospital guard. Sabra then fled to Iran, leaving his family behind. Gentel, the royal Sabra, but wishing to leave their criminal past behind, returned to France and vowed never to see him again. He spent the next 2 years on a run using as many as 10 stolen passports. He passed through various countries in Eastern Europe and the Middle East. He was joined by his younger half-brother Andre in Istanbul. Sabra and Andre quickly became partners in crime, participating in various criminal activities in both Turkey and France. The duo were eventually arrested in Athens after an identity switch hoax went awry. Sabra managed to escape, but his half-brother was left behind. Andre was turned over to the Turkish police by Greek authorities to serve an 18-year sentence. On the run again, Sabra financed his lifestyle by posing as either a gem salesman or drug dealer to impress the tourists, whom he then defrauded. In Thailand, tourists looking for adventure. Sabra quickly became the most devoted follower, turning a blind eye to his crimes and surrendering with local women. Sabra gathered followers by gaining the loyalty of typical scam was to help his target out of difficult situations. In one case, he helped 2 former French policemen, Yannick and Jacques, recover missing passports that Sabra himself had actually stolen. In another scheme, Sabra provided shelter to a Frenchman who appeared to be suffering from dysentery, and actually poisoned the guy. He was finally joined by a young Indian man, a fellow criminal who became Sabra's second in command. Chowdhury committed their first known murders. Most of the victims had spent some time with the duo before their deaths, and were, according to the investigators, recruited by Sabra and his friend to join the pair in their crimes. Sabra claimed that most of his murders were really accidental drug overdoses, but investigators state that the victims had threatened to expose him, which was his motive for murder. The first victim was a young woman from Seattle. She was found drowned in a tidal pool in the Gulf of Thailand wearing a flowered bikini. It was only months later that Knowlton's autopsy as well as forensic evidence proved that her drowning, originally believed to be a swimming accident, was murder. Next victim was a nomadic Jew, Vitaly Hakim, whose burnt body was found on the road to the Pattaya resort, where Sabra and his growing life were staying. Dutch students, one was 29, and that person's fiancé were 25, were invited to Thailand after meeting him in Hong Kong. They, like many others, were poisoned, and then nurtured them back to health and regained their obedience. As they recovered, Sabra was visited by his previous victim, Hakim's French girlfriend Charmaine, who had come to investigate her boyfriend's disappearance. During exposures, Sabra quickly hustled the couple out. Their bodies were found strangled and burned soon after. Drew was found drowned and wearing a similar style swimsuit to that of the earlier victim. Although the murders of both women were not connected by investigations at the time, they would later earn Sabra the nickname the Bikini Killer.
So he only murdered a few?
He murdered 12 plus.
But they were in groups, so it was a few instances, is that right?
I think so. On December, the day of the bodies of the Kevin and Hemker were identified, Sabra and the guy entered Nepal using the deceased pair's passport. They met in Nepal and on the 22nd of December murdered Laurent Cray, 26, and I can't pronounce that name, who was 29. Two victims were incorrectly identified sources of Ladi Depar and in the village from Mont. Sabra and Sura returned to Thailand using their latest victim's passport before their bodies could be identified. Upon his return to Thailand, Sabra discovered that his 3 French companions had started to suspect him of serial murder. Having found documents belonging to the murder victims, Sabra's former companions had fled to Paris after notifying authorities. He murdered an Israeli scholar simply to obtain his passport. Sabra used the passport to travel, first to Singapore, then to India, returning to Bangkok, despite knowing that the authorities there sought him. The clan was interrogated by Thai police in connection with the murders, but released because authorities feared that the negative publicity accompanying a murder trial would harm the country's tourist industry. It's investigating the murders, euthanasia. Everything is basically hunting down these people. Sabra started to build a criminal family, starting with 2 Western women. Sabra's next victim was a Frenchman, last name Solomon, who was poisoning during a robbery simply intended to incapacitate him, which left him dead. Joined by 3 women criminal clan, tricked a tour group of French postgraduate students into accepting them as tour guides. Sabra then drugged them by giving them poison pills, which he told them were anti-dysentery medicine. When the drugs took effect more quickly than Sabra anticipated, the students began to fall unconscious. 3 of the students realized what Sabra had done. They overpowered her, contacted the police, leading to his capture. During interrogation, Sabra's accomplices Smith and Ether quickly buckled and confessed. Sabra was charged with the murder of Solomon and all 4 was in higher prison. Holy shit, this was What's up, Joe?
My favorite crackheads.
Yes.
I'm dealing with this stupid boss fight. That wouldn't be hard, but I run out of cards.
You ran out of carbs.
Yes, that.
You need glucose.
I'll fucking kill you.
I legitimately, that's what I heard.
So I need him the fuck out of
You
here.
guys realize it's 3 a.m.?
Yeah, it's technically 2 a.m., but yeah.
Yeah. Hoping you guys didn't realize that.
I literally just told Sean, like, don't forget, clocks go ahead an hour.
Yeah.
You sound like you're half dead, Josiah. What's up?
I'm just tired. That is all.
Why'd you get on at 2 in the morning? Or 3 in the morning?
Why are you still on at 3 in the morning?
I normally am.
Good question.
I'll
have to get back to you on that one.
Because my sleep schedule is poopy.
Start crying and falling on the floor. That's what we doing, boys.
I'll be playing Call of Duty here shortly, if you'll give me a little bit.
Currently playing Call of Duty.
Cause you said you were playing Crackdown for a sec there, Sean, and I was like, what?
I was doing that earlier. Like, I had Crackdown on, but I've been writing papers.
Nice.
Yeah, and I had to write a paper before he did, so.
Yeah.
Mine was over
Last year
like...
was just...
break?
No.
No, I have another week.
Oh, well, it's mine.
I have one more week and then I'm on spring break. March
Yeah,
16th, I
mine's
think, is when
too.
mine starts.
This next week is my spring break. I'll have to go to school Monday.
I want to get good at this game.
Do you want to get into this game or good at this game?
Good at this game.
Which game?
Modern Warfare. Like, I really want to be good
Are
at
you
this game.
not?
This is it.
No.
Back off.
Better than average, at least. I think I'm saying you are.
I'm pretty poopy at this game.
This is it.
Fair enough.
Back
Like,
off.
I don't know what,
You in the
like,
game?
what reasons it could be. Yeah.
Back off.
I'm gonna try to join that server call. Never mind.
Heal.
It won't take too long. For,
Fair enough. Well, I'm gonna look it up.
Filthy.
I've got one more paper to write, but I think I'm gonna wait on it. I wrote two full fucking papers, so I think that's at least enough for now.
Power.
You bitch.
I feel so bad. You have to
Heal.
You're done. No escape.
I don't want to fucking market monster.
Yeah.
You're getting on my nerves. Lightning. You have no heart.
Yeah. Heal.
You're getting on my nerves.
You know what I'm fucking doing wrong? God damn it, I didn't even fucking realize that. Enemy gunshots don't show up on the goddamn... Show up on the buttons. So if you don't have a fucking UAV in the air, their red dots don't show up on the fucking radar.
You have no heart.
I can't keep track of fucking anything. I've been watching the radar like I do in the past games, and I can't fucking do that.
You're done. You're just a toy.
Fucking thank Christ.
You're not as bad as I thought. You really are a hero. A heartless hero.
Who asked you?
Oh, does it hurt because it's the truth? You are just a baby. And if you're gonna be a baby, then
Lexine,
here
I'm
you go.
pretty sure your maturity never increases, even when you learn after you
I
fucking got
created
killed and
another
brought back to
card
life.
from
You're
your
still a
memories,
dumb
you know.
bitch.
Be a good boy and say thanks. Ta-ta.
Wait, Larxene.
Why the fuck am I Grinch?
Where are you?
That
Don't you
just
dare
fucking
hide
hit
from
me.
me.
Why am I
Show
Grinch?
yourself.
I'm supposed to be Ghost.
Sora, calm down. She's not coming back.
Sora?
I hate this. Why'd I need someone like that to bring back Naminé's memory?
Holy fuck.
Whew. Throwing that battle wore me out.
Really? It looked to me like you just plain lost.
How dare you! You don't appreciate the nuances of
An ungainly effort.
Vexen.
How could you be humbled by someone of such limited significance? You shame the organization.
How can we help you, Vexen? It's not very often we see you topside.
I came to lend you a hand. You obviously believe this Sora has much potential, but I remain unconvinced he is truly worth such coddling. I think an experiment would show if he really is of any value to us.
Well, here we go again. It's just an excuse, so you can carry out your little experiments, that's all.
I'm a scientist. Experiments are what I do. Yes.
Whatever. You can do what you want. But you know, I think testing Sora is just a cover for testing your valet.
Valet? He's the product of pure research.
What he actually is a toy.
You should just learn to be quiet.
Anyway, since you came all this way, you're gonna need this. A humble gift to my elder. I hope you use it to put on a very good show for us.
He made a copy of Riku.
We don't have time! They've got Naminé! We gotta rescue her!
Whew. Sora sure does seem like he's upset.
You be too. He just remembered a friend, but found out she's in trouble.
Good point. I guess if we heard that the king was in danger, we would be pretty upset about that too.
Alright, well, fuck that. This fucking game pissed me off, so I'm glad I'm at a stopping point. The fucking boss fight was bullshit.
I said we just put like TDM tonight.
I am completely fine with that.